I'm Book Talk with Kay. Here's my co-host, Miss Lyha. Our other co-host in the comments. She's working the comments tonight. She's not feeling up to being on camera, but she's still here. And tonight we have a very special guest. Her name is J.A. Lopez, and she's going to tell us all about her books. Hey, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. So, the watching takes place in small town USA, around a cafe where a group of friends work. Um, the main character is named Kayla, and like I said, her friends are Emily, who is her BFF, Max, who is in a constant state of horniness and and self-love, Gina, who is his girlfriend, and she has to constantly reel him in, which he needs from time to time, and Sam, who owns the cafe where they all work. And he's a like a burly kind of guy that has like a heart of gold. So those are like the main characters. And shortly in the story, a man comes to town named Michael, and he's got some paranormal and some supernatural things that he's involved in. Um, and he has a friend named Tarsula who is a witch, and she has a problem with sugar. She's obsessed with baked goods. So, I mean, the characters, even the worst of the characters, have something I think that people can identify with. Um, and I think it just keeps people interested in them. If they can identify with a character, I think they're more prone to read a story. So, there's also a character named Peter. I won't tell what he is. He's part human and part something else. I don't want to spoil it if other people haven't read the book yet. But
I'm in the process.
okay,
I started
okay,
it.
okay. Well, so he's half human, half something else, and he also is in love with Kayla. So there's like a battle of good and evil between Michael and Peter. And so I won't tell you who wins, but it makes for an interesting read. There's a lot of weird things that begin to happen in the town. Once Tarsula, she's a witch, the witch comes in. And also Michael has a mother named Sasetta, who is part human, part something else. I don't want to say what it is because I don't want to ruin the read. But people seem to be fascinated with the characters in the watching a paranormal romance. In the watching two, there's some other villains and also characters that come into play. So it's good. It's a good read, especially for this time of year. Halloween fast approaching, which is my favorite holiday of the year. I just love the fall, and so it's. I mean, it's good, and people are telling me they're loving it, so that's great.
The reviews are great. I was reading some today and they were all good so far. It was as much as I saw anyways, but
There's some good reviews there. Yeah, it's great. It's very humbling to me because I never thought it would take off like it has. But it's really people are just loving it, so that makes me happy.
when did it come out?
The Watching came out last year, the first book, and the second book just came out in August, the end of August.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
fairly new.
congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So can you tell us how publishing your first book went? What was the process?
Oh my God. Well, since it was my first book, um, I definitely surrounded myself with people who knew a lot more than I did. And so I would suggest anyone who's starting off, surround yourself with people who know a lot more than you do, because I really knew nothing about writing or publishing or anything like that. Thank God I have a husband who's very supportive and friends who are supportive. So, I mean, they helped me a lot. To say it was just, a one man kind of thing would be ridiculous. I mean, it literally took a village to get the first book on, in the cover, on the cover, and then all the texts put in. And I mean, it took me 2 years to write that book. So it wasn't something that happened overnight. There was a lot of help. I don't pretend to know half of what, I should know, but I do have people who are with me, behind me, who believe in me, and that helps. So this whole thing happened. The first book, The Watching, a paranormal romance, happened just by a dare. A friend of ours had wrote a book with his cousin, and he asked me, what I thought of the book, and I was just like, "Oh my God, you wrote a book! That's fantastic. I wish I could write a book." And he was like, "Write a book. Go ahead." So I was like, "Write a book, really?" He was like, "Yeah, you could do it." So I was like, "Okay." So I wrote like a few chapters, and then I was like, I don't think I can do this. It's really kind of hard. I never thought writing a book would be so difficult. And it wasn't about paranormal or anything. It was just about Kayla and her friends. And as I read the chapters that I had wrote, it was very boring, and I didn't think anybody would be interested in reading it. So I was devastated because I thought for sure I could write a book, but no. So I started crying. I was having a hissy fit. And my husband was like, "Come on, just, pull through. You could do it." So I remember someone telling me that you should write about things that you find interesting or that appeal to you. So I thought, okay, well, paranormal and the supernatural have always been something I've been interested in ever since I was a little kid. So I figured I'll write about that. And as I thought about that, this guy, Michael, popped into my head with the two different color eyes. And I thought, oh, for sure, there's a story there somewhere. So that's
Yeah.
that's when I started writing The Watching.
Well, that's amazing. Do you think having that little bit of a push from your support really helped you get through it?
Oh, absolutely. I think you need that, and not only in writing, in anything in life, you need that support group or those people that believe in you. There are times I didn't believe in myself. And if I didn't have a support group, I probably wouldn't have wrote anything. I probably wouldn't have finished the first book. So yeah, I think it's really important.
How did you decide on paranormal?
Well, like I said, I was always interested in the paranormal, supernatural element of life. And I believe in it 100%. So I thought, well, I'll write that because that's what I'm interested in and that's what I know a little bit about. So that's how I started writing about that.
So, like paranormal books, movies, or experiences, what was the big draw?
I had a few
Or a little bit of
experiences.
everything?
I had a few experiences as a young child, as far as the paranormal is concerned. Um, I did see a full body apparition when I was very young, and I think
Oh,
that's what triggered it all. Never saw another one, but I did see one when I was younger. And they say children can see things that older adults cannot see because they're still linked to that young kind of you know sense. They haven't grown up yet. They
mhm.
haven't experienced life too much yet, so they still have that openness to the paranormal or supernatural or whatever you want to call it.
How many hours a day do you think that you write? Is it an
I
everyday
write
thing or just
Yeah, I write every day. I write in the morning. Usually when it's quiet and the house is quiet, I'll write in the morning. A few hours, but then I have to walk away because sometimes I'll get stuck and I'll just need a break. So yeah, I write, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, and then I'll take a break, and then later in the afternoon I'll come back to it and read what I wrote. Sometimes the things I write first thing in the morning are not the greatest. So, I have to go back and look at it again. So, yeah, but I try to write every day.
Do you so the you said that the first book took 2 years. Did the second one take as long, or was it a little bit easier to get through?
The second one was definitely easier. Most of the characters were already there. It only took 8 months for the second book. So it was much, much easier. I just had to add in a few extra characters and zip up the storyline a little bit, change it around, and so it was much easier.
If you weren't writing, what do you think your other career would be?
Well, I mean, I was a receptionist for many, many years, so and I enjoyed that. And because I was the front desk person and I met a lot of people, so I would be I think I would still be a receptionist if I wasn't writing.
We have a very nice, welcoming personality, so I can see that.
Oh, thank you so much.
What are some of your favorite books to read?
Well, I haven't really been reading a lot lately because I've been writing, but I started. I'm a big fan of Stephen King's, of course, Anne Rice. So I started A Fairy's Tale. I got halfway through that, but I haven't really been reading lately because I've been so busy. I'm on my third book now, which is coming out probably next year. I've got like 6 chapters done. It's fairly new. It's not part of the Watching series. It's a different if it's a different book, a different storyline.
Ooh,
Um, yeah, and it's still supernatural and paranormal, involved in there, but it's not the characters of the Watching. It's totally different.
that's exciting. Do you want to tell us any
I
kind of
was
little
I was
sneak?
hoping you wouldn't ask me. I don't usually like to talk about things that are, so early. But I will say, it is about a piece of jewelry that is cursed. And it's it involves words. So I will say that. Um Yeah, so uh I don't really want to say too much, but it's coming along and it's going to take a while to write it because it's new characters and it's 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 difficult to get everything to like jive and come together, but I'm working on it. So hopefully by next year, maybe by the fall it'll be out.
Well, that's exciting. Um, Leonie asks, will it start a new series?
Will it start a new series, the third book?
Yes.
I'm not sure yet. Like I said, it's early. It's only like 5 chapters in. Um, it might, but I think after I write it, I think I'll decide whether I want to do a second one of that book. But people keep asking me for a third book for the Watching, so um, I will probably go back to the Watching and work on the third book with Kayla and her friends and everyone.
Well, that's exciting. I need to get on this, reading it now, because,
You should read it. It's the perfect time of year to read it.
well, I started it because it is that spooky time. I was like, oh, this is going to be perfect.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it, I think.
They want to know how many pages do you typically write?
A day
I think just in general, like for a book.
for a book. I try to make it over 300. I don't really like to I don't really want to write a book that's like, 1,000 pages because myself, I kind of lose interest if it goes on and on and on. So I try only to write what I think, would keep the reader interested. So for me, a 300-page book or a little over 300 pages is enough. So I just write what I like, and what appeals to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
When your covers are beautiful, they draw in the eye. How did you create those?
That was done. I have to give credit where credit is due. A friend of ours, his name is Kyle. Mark Ham. He's a fantastic graphic designer. He actually teaches graphic design. So, like I said, I try to surround myself with people who know a lot
Yeah.
more than I do. And I think my husband kind of showed him a picture of a guy, of the guy with the two eyes, and that I thought about, and he went from there and did it. And of course, we collaborate and we talk back and forth about, should we keep the background this way? Should we make it lighter? Should we, what should we do? What's the back of the book going to look like? So we talk a lot because he's a friend. So we're always constantly talking. But he was the one that designed the cover, the front and the back. So yeah, he's pretty talented.
Well, they want to know if he's on TikTok.
Is he what?
On TikTok, where people can follow him.
I don't know. I don't know if he is. He's so busy all the time because, like I said, he teaches, and he might be. I'm not really sure. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
We had a question that says, which character is your favorite, or the one you can most relate to?
Well, those are two different people or two different characters. The character I love the most is Willie, only because Willie was patterned after my little dog Obi, who knew the three commands that Willie knows: follow, hide, and return. So that's who the character Willie was based off of, and that's my favorite character. Um, the one that I identify most with would be, believe it or not, Tarsula, who is obsessed with sugar and baked goods, and so am I. So, and I think most people like sugar. So I guess and Tarsula, even though she's wicked and evil and horrible, there is something about her that is likable in a weird sort of way. So I would say Tarsula.
But those make the best characters. That they're a little bit dark, but then you're drawn to them. Yes,
Yes.
Leonie.
Yes, I think so. I think, as dark as a character is, you have to give them something that someone can latch onto and say, "Hey, yeah, I identify with that. That's yeah." Uh, but because if you make the character totally wicked, then people are just going to be like, "Oh God, she's really wicked. I don't really like her at all." I like to try to have all my characters likable in some way, with maybe the exception of Susetta, who is part human, part something else. She's kind of totally wicked.
Um, they want to know what your favorite season to write in is, and where is your most favorite spot to write?
Okay, it's definitely fall. I'm definitely a fall girl. Um, this is my time of year right now where I'm just loving it. I wish it got a little cooler though. It's been fairly warm, so I'm waiting for that crisp air to start. So it's definitely fall. And where do I write? I usually write in my dining room on my big dining room table. I'll sit there with all my books and all my, tablets and my computer and everything, and I'll write there sitting at my dining room table.
Yeah, Leonie's also an author, and she says hers too.
Okay,
Um,
good.
so, what do you think makes a great story?
Um, well, I just write the stories that I would like to read. I think you need a story that would get people involved in the storyline. It has to be a story that's relatable in some way to someone. And you know, I just I just read what I like. I just write what I like, and if I read it and I like it, then I think the story, then other people will like it, and I think the story would be good. But you have to like what you're writing. You can't just write anything and then throw it out there. You have to really think about it. Think about the characters, their personalities, what they would do, what they wouldn't do, that type of thing.
Yeah. Are there any authors that you kind of wasn't a huge fan of, but then grew into their writing style or books?
Well, Once again, I have to say, I've been in and out of the Stephen King realm. I liked his books early on, but then I kind of fell off of the Stephen King genre thing. But now I'm back reading Stephen King again. So I mean, yeah, I go back and forth. I'll read a certain author, and then if I find that he's too long winded, or I'm not getting into the stories that he's writing or she's writing, I'll back off. But like I said, I haven't really been reading lately. I've been so busy between book signings and writing, and I'm trying to get this third book out now. So it's I've been busy.
What's the biggest surprise you've had while writing?
The biggest surprise that people like the book. That's the biggest surprise. The first book that I wrote, The Watching, people have embraced the book. They've embraced the story. They love the characters, and they fell in love with Willie. So, I mean, that's a big surprise. My first book that I've ever written, and people are embracing it. That's a biggest surprise, and I thank everyone who's reading The Watching and who's loving it. It's great.
They want to know if you use beta or ARC readers.
I'm sorry, say it again.
If you use beta or ARC readers.
I do use ARC readers, absolutely. And yeah, I use beta readers. I have a couple of different people that I use. Um, we go back and forth. We email each other. But yeah, you have to have that because I mean, I read The Watching, um, the manuscript for The Watching at least, I don't know, 30 times before um, I sent it to my beta readers. And I thought it was good until my beta readers read it and they were like, hey, look, there's this mistake, or you wrote this word wrong, or this is wrong. Um, so you need a pair of eyes, numerous eyes to look at your manuscript and make sure that the spelling is right. And even then, sometimes a word is missed. So it's like, you do the best you can. Nobody's perfect. So once in a while you will have a mishap. It happens.
Yeah. What suggestions do you have about the writing process for new authors?
I would just say keep it on. That's what I would say. If you're a new author, if you're a new writer, I would say just keep doing it. It gets easier as you go. Like I said, my first book it took 2 years to write. The second book only took 8 months. So yeah, I think you just need to keep doing it. It's a craft just like anything else. The more you do it, I think the more proficient you become um, with it. So it's just like anything else. You just have to keep doing it.
Are there any special tools that you use when writing?
I do. Oh, that's a good one. No one's ever asked me that. Actually, I listen to music. Sometimes that helps me. Danny Elfman, who writes a lot of the scores for, The Corpse Bride, and I think he did the score for Nightmare Before Christmas. He's like a fantastic composer, and his music is very, I don't want to say Halloweeny, but there is an element of, scariness to them. And so I'll put the headphones on and I'll type and listen to that. And it kind of, inspires me to write. So, yeah, I listen to music when I write sometimes.
Yeah, I always think it's like whimsical spook or something. Spooky
Yeah,
whimsical. Like, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And as you read the book, The Watching, you said you just started it. You'll
Hmm.
see that there is a little whimsy to it. There's a little, I don't want to say it's like a fairy tale, but there are some elements that are fairy tale like in certain parts. So as you read on, maybe you'll catch on to that and you'll see that. But yeah, there are a little bit of you know, fairy tale for adults. Let's put it that way. This is definitely an adult read. It's not for kids. So,
I'll definitely pay attention.
yeah.
Um, if your book were turned into a film, who would your dream cast be?
Oh, this discussion has been going on since the watching came out. Um, I don't know who I would put in for all the characters, but Elizabeth Moss would definitely. I'd want her to play Tarsula. She can pretty much play anything. Um, she was in. I don't know if everyone knows who she is. She was in the Handmaid's Tale, and she's. I mean, she's done. She was in The Invisible Man. She can do anything. She's fantastic. So she would be Tarsula. As far as the rest of the cast, I I'm not really sure. I don't know. Um, but I would certainly be open to a movie if anybody's out there. I would definitely be open to it. So but yeah, I don't know. Good question though.
I don't even know how that works. Like, do you pitch it to people, or do people just find that? Like,
I don't know. I have no idea how it works, but um we'll see what happens. Like I said, everyone that reads the book says to me, "Oh, I definitely see this as a movie." So we'll see what goes on. We'll see what happens. Netflix is coming to New Jersey, so who knows? We'll see.
so you go to book signings. What has been your favorite one so far?
Well, I just did Collinswood over the weekend, which is a big book fair. That was pretty nice. I've never done an outside thing. I've always been inside. And I do Barnes and Noble, a lot of Barnes and Noble. So um, I thoroughly enjoy that. Signing at Barnes and Noble. You meet a lot of interesting people who come and say hi and stuff. So that's really nice. But yeah, Collinswood was the first outside signing that I did, and it was fun. It was fun.
Any plans to come to West Virginia? You're not that far.
I would love to come to West Virginia. I'm laughing because I just got someone just asked me if I would come to Missouri. I was asked to come to DC. They want me to. I wish I could fly everywhere and go everywhere and meet all of you, but um, maybe in the future, who knows? But right now, I'm pretty much home writing my third book, so I'm not really moving too much. I do have Barnes and Noble signings coming up for the month. There's one in Woodland Park, and then there's one in. I'm going to Rhode Island for two Barnes and Noble signings, and then I'm going to Connecticut next week. So at the Barnes and Noble. Oh, sorry about that. Fell down
You're
at
okay.
the Barnes at the Barnes and Noble in Smithfield. So I will be doing all of that, but I would love to come. Yeah, I would love to go all over the U.S., but I don't think that's really possible. But we'll see. Maybe in the future.
Well, we're having a masquerade ball on November 1st with
Oh, that sounds
authors showing up.
exciting. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
exciting. Where are they having that?
Hurricane, West Virginia.
Okay. It's an indoor, where is it? It's
Hmm.
indoor where? Like in a school or in a, like, where is
No,
it?
it's like an event place. It's special for
Okay.
events. They have like a lot of meetings and like corporate stuff there, but
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that sounds like fun. Yeah, I would
yeah,
I
they
would
have a
love to
really
go.
pretty park beside of it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would love to go there, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but that sounds like fun.
I hope so. I'm excited. Um, can you describe one memorable interaction with a fan that you've had?
Well, once last year, I was in Rhode Island, and I was at a book signing there, and a girl came running in, all excited, all flustered, and she ran over to the table where I was signing, and she was like, "Oh my God, I thought I was going to miss you. I got caught in traffic." She was like frantic. And I just thought that was so
Oh,
funny. I was like, "I'm here, relax." So, but that just the excitement in her and the anticipation and the crazy, "Oh my God, I thought I missed you. I have to see. I have you to sign this book." It was just like it was funny. That was the funniest thing that happened. And also, I have to tell you something else that happened. A guy and his daughter. Um, I was at Barnes and Noble again. He came over to my table, and his daughter picked up my book, and she was, thumbing through it and looking at it. And she said she wanted it, so her father said okay. And he looked down at the table, and there was like maybe, I don't know, 10 books there left. And he was like, how many books do you have? And I said, like, I think there's like 10 here. And he's like, I'll buy them all. So he bought all my
oh,
books, like one, two, three, they were gone. And I looked at my husband. My husband walked over, and he was like, because my husband comes to all my signings. He stands on the side and he watches, but
that's
he's so
sweet.
protective. Yeah. But he came over, and he was arguing with the guy. He was like, you don't have to buy all her books, it's fine. And the guy was like, no, I want to get them because he owned an office, and he was going to give out the books to all his coworkers there. So, but that was exciting. That was something else. He brought all the books that were left on my table. Yeah. So
That's
you
got to
meet a
be the
lot of.
best feeling.
It was, yeah. You meet a lot of nice people. It's great. It really is. It's fun.
Yeah. So, what kind of marketing strategies do you implement?
Marketing strategies. Well, um, right now I've been getting a lot of people asking me for signed books. So we're doing something since it is Halloween. It's my favorite time of year. We're doing bundlings where we're doing the watching one, the watching two together in a bag, all dressed up with either a skeleton, a witch, or a whatever bat, I think, and and if we're giving them a cut on the price of the two books and also a cut on the price of shipping. So if they I just did a video this morning on it. If they wanted it, they could just send me a message via the watching novel, and leave me a message there, and we'll ship it off to them. um, they can pay with Venmo or with Zelle, and so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, we just started doing that. That's something for the fall season.
Well, that's exciting. We had somebody ask if you did book boxes or anything. So,
So that's what we're doing. It's not a box, but it is like a little cellophane bag with
bundle.
a ribbon
Yeah,
and a little tchotchke on it.
that's cute. Did you have to learn any new programs or go to marketing school
No,
to market your own book?
no, like I said, we did everything on our own. Um, my group of friends are terrific. It was definitely a small village. I was not on my own, thank God, because I don't know if I could have done it all alone. But yeah, it takes a lot of people. Well, it did for me anyway. I'm technically challenged. So I'll be the first to admit that computers and I, we don't mix too well. I mean, I could sit there and write a story, but as far as the technical part of it, I leave that to other people.
Well, that's okay. That's what your team's for, huh? Um, how do you handle writer's block?
Just walk away. If I'm writing and then all of a sudden I can't think of anything else, I just get up and walk away. Take a breath, um, get something to drink, come back. You know, I don't sit there and just look at the screen, and that would make me crazy. So I just get up and walk away. I do other things like the laundry or whatever. But I mean, I'm not a fan of laundry, but whatever, whatever it takes to change my mind. That's what I do.
Yeah, Sometimes laundry helps me clear my mind, or I don't know. I just think more when I'm doing laundry, I guess,
Okay, good.
because
I'm not alone. Okay.
you don't have to focus on that, so like your mind can go elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you think the best money you've spent as a writer is?
The best money I've spent? Um, hmm. I don't know. Probably just the books themselves, or just buying the books, traveling. Like I said, I'm going to Rhode Island, and then I'm going to Connecticut. So just the expense of staying overnight and traveling and just getting out there, I think that can become expensive. So I think that's probably it. Just the hotels and eating out and all of that. So yeah, that can run up a little bit of money.
Yeah, and a lot of book events you have to pay for, right? Like,
Well, I didn't have to pay. I don't usually. I haven't yet. Let's put it that way. I didn't have to pay for Collinswood. Um, so and then I don't have to pay for Barnes and Noble. So, oh no, excuse me. I did have to pay for Collinswood, but it wasn't expensive. I didn't have to pay for. I don't pay for Barnes and Noble. I just show up. So, but I haven't really paid a lot into events where I had to go and sign books. Um, Except for, like I said, if I have to travel out of New Jersey and I have to stay at a hotel or any eat out every night or whatever, that runs up the money. But other than that, it hasn't been bad.
Joe said you write those off on your taxes, right?
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
she's a tax person, so that's her goal.
Okay.
Like
Yep, that's right.
bookkeeper, not taxes. Sorry, but how do you handle creative doubt?
Um, I feel it once in a while, but it seems to pass. Um, for I'll stop writing, and then like I said, I'll walk away and everything. Usually after like a day or two, if I feel that, oh my God, is this really what I want to do? How's the story going the way I want it to go? And if it's not, if I think no, then I'll just stop writing for a day or two, and usually I can get back into it. um but if I'm downing myself, I don't sit there and keep writing. I'll walk away. And it seems to help me. And then I go back and I can think clearer, and I can start writing again.
Joe asks, how do the Barnes and Noble book signings work? Do they reach out to you, or do you approach them?
You have to approach them. My husband did a lot of it. He kept messaging and texting back and forth with um, with the managers of Barnes and Noble, all the different Barnes and Nobles. Um, And then I got my first signing in Ledgewood, New Jersey. A woman named Mary gave me a break, and she let me come in there to sign for the Watching, the first book. And she was very very nice and kind to me. So that's where it all started. And then I do think we sold out of all the books that day, so it
Oh
does
wow.
help. It does help if if you go in there and you interact with people and you sell. Then you know I know I'm pretty sure that the Barnes and Noble managers talk to each other. And so when I my husband reached out again to a different Barnes and Noble, they were like, yes, come in, you know we'd love to have you. Because I think Mary might have said something to them. I don't know. I think that's what happened, but I'm not sure. But it got easier after the first one, when we sold out all of the books of the Watching, and we've been selling out every single time we go to Barnes and Noble of the first book. So
That's amazing.
yeah. So I mean, there are a lot of nice people out there who took a chance on me and bought the first book, and I'm very grateful for that.
So do you like the Barnes and Noble book signings better than the more smaller, independently owned bookstores,
Well, I haven't
or they're
really,
just different experiences?
yeah, I've only been in Barnes and Noble. I haven't really been in signings in like um, small independently owned bookstores. I have sent some of my books to D&K bookstore, who I think they're in Minnesota, I want to say, Michigan. They're in Michigan. Um, and they have a few of my books there. But as far as going there and signing, I haven't. I've only been in the Barnes and Noble, and so I don't know. Maybe after this little TikTok thing, they'll invite me. If they invite me, I'll go. But I haven't been in the smaller bookstores.
If you could tell your younger self anything, what would you tell yourself?
Well, um, I never had any idea. If someone would tell me I would become a writer at the age that I am, I would have thought they were crazy. So, I mean, the first thing I remember ever writing was a play in high school that got rejected quickly. So, I don't know. I've always been like all over the place with what I've always wanted to do. And like I said, I never had any intention of becoming a writer. No idea at all. Until the friend came to my house and said, you should write a book. I think sometimes the universe throws things at you. And they say, here, try this. And you either grasp hold of it and try it, or you just let it go. So fortunate enough for me, I grabbed it. I have friends behind me backing me up who believe in me, and that made it happen. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you stuck with it.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you read it and enjoy it. The book.
So far, I have. Yeah.
Good.
Um, so what does literary success look like to you?
Well, just to get the book out there and to have people like it, um, that means a lot to me. Um, so that would be successful in my eyes. And I wouldn't mind if a movie was made from the book. I wouldn't mind that at all. So, but I always tell my husband after the first book came out that it wasn't really the money that was making me continue writing. It was the people that I were meeting that were saying that they liked the book, they could identify with the characters, they love Willie. And so that kind of, response makes me want to write more. So that's what's important to me.
I love that. Do you view writing as a spiritual type of experience or more technical?
Um, that's a good question. I don't think I'm not I do believe in a higher power, but I'm not necessarily a religious person or a spiritual kind of person. I do believe that there's something out there that maybe guides us every now and again. But I I would think it's just just a technical thing for me. It's just like writing, sitting down and writing. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there's a higher power edging me on, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Um, how do you handle reviews? Good, bad?
Listen, I people say they don't read reviews. Um, I I do read reviews. Thank God most of my reviews have been good. Um, there are always reviews where people are going to hate you or hate what you're doing or give you a bad thing or whatever or give you 1 star and people get upset about that. But I just keep writing. I don't take it to heart. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, what they like or what they don't like. And just keep writing what you like and hopefully people will read it and they'll see that you put your heart into it and they'll like it as well. And so that's what I try to do. I don't dwell too much on the bad reviews. I've had a few, but you know, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, so far you have way more good than bad, so I call that
Thank
a
you.
win.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done for love?
For love? Wow.
Mhm.
Craziest thing I've ever done for love. Um I met my husband on a blind date, and I never ever went on blind dates. We're talking many years ago, and I was at that last the night of the date. I was like really. I wanted to back out and not go. I was like maybe I'll just make an excuse like I'm sick or whatever. And I don't because I never did a blind date before, and I was kind of like I don't know about this, but I met him, we clicked, and it's like 30 years, 31 years now later, here we still are. So
Oh wow.
probably, I would say, just go for whatever experience you can go for. I don't haven't really ever done anything crazy for love, but that was pretty crazy for me going on a blind date. Something I would really never do when I was younger. So, and it worked
Yeah,
out.
I did it once and never again. Never again.
I know. I hear you. But sometimes,
But I should have known when that certain friend was the one to set us up.
uh-oh. Okay. Well, sometimes it doesn't work out, but it worked out for me, so that was good.
Well, that's good. Yeah. He sounds like an amazing partner. He supports you a lot.
He is. He is. He really is. Yeah.
If you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would you eat?
Oh man. Um, it probably would be chocolate, something chocolate, or a pasta dish. You know, one or the other. Um, those are like my two favorite things. So probably that. Not together.
Um,
Pasta with chocolate, but separately.
yeah, I don't never had chocolate pasta, but you never know.
You never know.
What do you think your spirit animal is?
My spirit animal. Um, I don't know. Probably a dog, maybe, because I love dogs. They're man's best friend. Um, and they're sweet. Most of them I've met are sweet and kind, and um, they have very human like emotions, I think. And so probably a dog. Probably a small dog, though. Like a little I don't know, Chewini or something.
Oh. Um, so if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
Probably I would like to read people's minds. I would like to do that. I
Ooh.
think it could back. I mean, that could, be also something that wouldn't be good because then you would know what people really thought of you. But yeah, I would like to be able to read people's minds, either if they were thinking good things or bad things.
Yeah. I don't think it would bother me so much about what they thought of me, but if like they were going through something dark, I would definitely take that onto myself because I do that.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that would be interesting if you could read, what people were thinking or see what people were thinking.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions for our guests? They're talking about chocolate lasagna.
It's really good.
So tell everybody where to find you on social media. Do you have
You
a
can
website?
you can follow me on the Watching Novel. It's at the Watching Novel on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, probably. And I always post so on the Watching Novel. So I'll just post where I'll be, and what I'm doing. I'll post on there on the Watching Novel, and usually I'll post my Barnes and Noble signings. Anything that's coming up, I'll post there. And so if I'm in the area where you are, and you see my post on Barnes and Noble, come on out, say hi. I always love
Oh,
meeting
definitely.
the guys that have bought my book, and that are enjoying it. It makes me feel so happy. So come out and say hi. Don't be afraid to come up to me. It's a lot of fun. So that's where I am. So if you want to follow me on the Watching Novel. I'm there.
She answers
Uh,
quickly.
what?
She
Sorry, I
answers
couldn't
all
hear.
questions very quickly.
Oh,
What did she say?
you answer questions very quickly.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's great. I was going to ask you something. Oh, we are having a Halloween event on October 29th. Everybody's welcome. If you wear costume, you can get up in a box and be entered for a prize. We're going to do some giveaways. And if you're an author, narrator, get up in a box and show your skills, pitch your book. Everybody's welcome.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great. And you said it's on the 29th?
Yep,
Cool. That's good. I don't know
we're
where I don't know
excited.
where I'll be on the 29th. Who knows?
I can send you a reminder. Come closer to it.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah, it'd be fun to have you in. We hope it's going to be big and a bunch of people show up.
Good. I hope it's a success. That's great.
It's going to be fun either way.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's always fun.
Yeah, we're gonna do some trivia.
Some
Do
giveaways.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Oh, maybe I could buy one of your book bundles to give away.
Yeah, just let me know. Let me know what what you feel. And we'll see if we can make it happen.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, Joe. Joe, take notes because I don't have paper. Joe's our note taker. She writes everything down.
Oh,
Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for being here. We had so much fun. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I just thank you so much for having me on. I really had fun. It was great meeting both of you, and
Yeah.
enjoy the books. And hopefully, I will talk to you again soon.
Yeah, let us know what you have going on and we'll help you promote as much as we can.
Great. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
Have a good
you.
night.
Bye, guys.
Good night.